Hi everyone and welcome back. Today I will be teaching you how to use the scientific method during an experiment. Today my experiment that I will be showing you is going to be using eggs. I'm going to be testing and experimenting to see if eggs float or sink in different liquids. So first things first, my question is, do eggs float or sink in different liquids? Now I'm going to go back to my Google slide and I'm going to fill that in. Next, I'm going to hypothesize. My hypothesis is my guess. It is my scientific guess on exactly what will happen if I drop an egg into just straight water or into salt water. This is my educated, scientific guess. Now I'm going to go type in my hypothesis. What do I think will happen during this experiment? Now, once I finish filling in my Google slide, I'm going to come back and I'm going to write down all my materials I'm using. Materials I'm using are salt, water, 2 jars or glasses. I'm using 2 eggs and a spoon to mix it, and my tablespoon for the salt. Now I'm going to go fill in my Google slide with all my materials. Next, I will be writing my procedure. But before I write it, I'm going to first fill the glasses with some water. So I have my 2 jars and I'm going to fill each jar with some water. That is my step 1. I got my jars and I filled them with water. Next, what I'll be doing is I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of salt and I'm going to mix it into one of the jars. Taking my tablespoon of salt and I'm mixing it in to my 1 jar. My last step will be putting in the eggs into each jar. But before I put the eggs in, I'm going to write all my steps out in the procedures. Now I finished writing my procedure. Next, I'm going to gently put one egg into the clear water, which is just water, and we will observe, and the other egg will go into salt water. Now, what are our observations? The egg that is just in water has sunk, and the egg that is in salt water is floating. That is what we will write in our observations. Now let's go write it down. In conclusion, what have we learned? We learned that an egg can both float and sink depending on the liquid. In my conclusion, I will write that in regular water, the egg sunk, but in salt water, the egg is still floating. That is what I will conclude with. Now I'm going to write that in my conclusion.